Boner.
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 Is my mic loud enough?
Yep.
Yeah, is mine good?
Yep.
Cool.
Is my lack of mic good?
Yeah.
Works.
The sound on yours is not bad.
It's because he's got like $1 million computer.
Yeah.
It's a MacBook. It's
That he set up in a basement.
just a MacBook in a basement.
Should we film an intro of some sort?
I think we all started by just saying boner.
Well, that'll get demonetized.
Yeah,
Will
you
it?
can't do that within the first 30 seconds.
You can't say boner?
No, you gotta wait.
Today on Total Dog, we are discussing
You can't. Well, we have to just. Can we just bleep it out?
Yeah. Today we are discussing White Lotus Season 3, and we are trying to figure out if it was good or a big old steamy pile of dog shit.
You have to say that we're siblings. Like, set up the first episode of what it's all gonna be like.
What the hell?
Who did that?
You can hear him laughing, but his face is just still.
There's your intro for you. So I guess we're trying to figure out if White Lotus was total dog shit or not. But I just want to say me and Justin have been right all season. And I want to
Listen.
know why you and Allie and Harry thought it was so great the whole time.
Okay, listen. It had me until episode 7, and that's when I fell off a little bit. But I still have positive thoughts about the last episode. But why I loved it in the beginning is because I loved the slow build-up. I thought the slow build-up was dope, and I think Harry was on the same page. It was like the anticipation, the anxiety. I loved the story of the three sisters. Basically, everything you guys hated, I loved.
I mean, I like slow
That
builds.
sounds about right.
Yeah. I like slow builds, but it was like every episode it seemed like it was building to the next one. Like, oh, they're going to be on a yacht together. Shit's going to go down. Or like, oh, never mind. They're like, oh, maybe the full moon party. Shit's going to go down. And then it's like, oh, never mind. It's like, oh, Greg's having a party now. This is where it's going to happen. And it's like, nope.
I feel a little bit like Mike White was messing with us. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
I'm about to sound stupid. I feel like he was messing with us because in the very beginning of the last episode, one of the monk's lines was, "There is no resolution."
I know, right? When he said that at the
And I
beginning
was
of the
like-
episode, I went out loud. I go, oh, no. I know what that means. I've written stuff before.
Yeah. Harry, what did you like about it? Let's go up until episode 7. Let's talk that.
Yeah, I liked the slow build as well, and I liked the characters. Like a lot of you guys were complaining throughout the season that like it was boring, but like I wasn't minding like kind of just sitting in the world building for those episodes and just getting just familiar with characters, and I was entertained enough by the characters, and I just kind of trusted that it was all going to come to a head in a like meaningful or satisfactory way.
I did too.
That's what you get for trusting HBO.
Yeah, he was toying with you the whole time.
I was confident. I was so confident until episode 7, and that's when I started to worry, like, none of this is going to be resolved.
Let's
and
talk.
then the very beginning, it confirmed, like, there is no resolution. And I was so, like, oh no, the group chat's going to blow up.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
talk
like, I
about
think-
the group chat and how me and Chad were saying from episode 2 that this is going to be a steamy pile of shit. And you guys fought to the death.
Yeah, you're like, I guess we just don't have to talk about White Lotus. I'm out of here.
Harry was standing for Mike White. He
That
was
was
a knight
Harry.
in shining armor.
I was
Whoa.
really liking it.
Is
It
all
was
my
shaping up
menu
to
stuff
be-
showing on the screen?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I thought it was like an artistic choice.
Yeah.
I'll have
You
to
could probably-
figure that out for next time.
It adds to it, I guess.
Yeah, it's character development. You guys, which Chad and Justin wouldn't know about.
Yeah.
I don't think they developed any characters, really.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
who had an arc?
The three friends?
Kind of. They
It
had
was
like
such
a
a
mini
beautiful
arc.
story, the way
I mean,
that they ended
Carrie
that.
Coon did. She was great.
I loved.
Yeah, I thought the three women were like ended up being probably my favorite beginning, middle, end, which I did not expect. I was kind of assuming that they would all be fine at the end, but like when it actually got there compared to everything else that was happening, I was like, well, I feel like this is like one of the only ones that I felt like there was a through line. Like maybe Mike was the most inspired by their conversations or their arc, because yeah, the arc with Walton Goggins was not the case.
How do you
No,
waste
this-
such a great actor?
The fact that my menu is up is gonna bug me.
Yeah, I feel like the first 4 episodes, those ladies weren't doing anything.
They're getting squirted by water guns.
Yeah, and it was so traumatic for them.
Yeah, I felt like Mike had the idea of, like, I want one night where these two women, like, talk shit on the other, and then they pair up on the next night. And so he created this formula that he had to abide by. And so once he got through with that, and, like, okay, now they've all talked shit on each other, and now we can take them somewhere a little farther than that. So I felt like he did get a little trapped in that pattern that he created. But I think it also comes down to there just didn't need to be 8 episodes. Like, I think that there was 6 good episodes of TV in here, and it was drug out to 8.
Yeah, I definitely think they could have wrapped it up sooner, but I think too, a lot of it is like where you are in life determines how much you liked certain characters. Because I loved the 3 girls arc. Like I have a great group of friends in Nashville, and I loved the ending for them. Like I thought it was so cute and sweet, and I just
Yeah, it was so cute and sweet when they're on the boat after witnessing a murder, and they're just like, whatever.
Bye.
I had fun.
Okay, so basically the entire season it was me and Harry versus Chad and Justin. Do you guys want to walk through like the last episode and our thoughts on that?
Yeah, because we definitely need to keep, like, this part of the conversation is like a section of the story, and then there's the ending. Like, because my opinion really does turn around the same time that it does with Allie, and then by the ending, like, I have really strong opinions about like some of the things, but like I really did like it up till episode 7, and then I ended up at like 50-50 on the season.
Me too.
I think I disliked it up until I liked episode 6. I'm like, okay, maybe it's doing something.
That's the one when the brothers jerk each other off, right?
I think that's the aftermath of the jerk off.
Yeah, but that's when we find out about the jerk off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you would like that.
That was
one.
Justin's favorite episode too.
Justin, no, because
Yeah.
the other day,
Justin, you said the only storyline that you liked was the rat lifts. You only you didn't care about any of the other storyline except for the brothers touching each
Allie,
other.
the other day when we were playing games, Justin goes, what did he say? He said, he's like, I get why the younger brother jerked off the older one because it's a power move.
No.
And so we're like, Justin, what have you been thinking about since you're the youngest? Like, what the hell?
That's absolutely
Justin's
false.
like, I connect with that guy.
God, you spent so much time around Austin comedian podcasters just throwing shit out there that's not even true.
But
that's what he said.
Maybe this is why like the format should have been all season doing this, because when we were talking about the brothers jerking off, listening to Chad try to get into the mind and perspective of Lachlan to argue with Justin, because Chad had a different perspective, but he was also like trying to like put himself in the position of Lachlan to explain it, and so he was very, very choice with his words because he didn't also want to explain to his brother the motivations of a brother jerking a brother off.
Well, Justin was saying it was for a power move, and I was like, no, it's for approval.
I said the power dynamic has shifted, which is true.
And it sounds like you've been sitting on that for a while, thinking about how to shift the dynamic in your favor. And you're like, oh, I get it.
Careful when you go to sleep.
All right. Let's dive into the last episode. So it kicks off with "There is no resolution," which got me really concerned.
What are the concerns?
I just feel like we were being set up to like not be happy with the ending, which is accurate.
I kind of like some of the ending.
Oh.
I feel like the only thing that really would have saved the whole season for me would have been if they all died. Like maybe it was a mass shooting, or if like a tsunami came and just wiped that whole goddamn place off the map. So this was kind of close to that.
That would have been kind of a cop-out too, though.
I know, but he had been fucking around for... I mean, Tim's just sitting there, slurping pills for 6 episodes. Like
I like what Brittany said about the Ratcliffe dad, and she's like, well, just make sure you throw your head back very violently to show that you're taking pills.
That's all I could see after she said that.
that.
All I could see was him like dramatically throwing his head back so he knew how many pills he was swallowing.
The new episode, he pours out the last pills, and I go, oh, here it goes. And he goes...
Yeah, at one point, it looked like maybe he took another pill right before bed. And Brittany asked, like, oh, did he just take another pill? And I'm like, did you see his head jerk back really fast? No, he did not take another pill.
How much more interesting would it have been, though, if it was like he was taking the pills and earlier on the mom found out about their legal predicament and then like they were butting heads and then discovering that he was stealing her pills and like just like there's so much that could have happened instead of him just bumbling around like a fool the whole time.
Yeah. I hate to say it, and I told this to Justin, I hate to say it, but I think that the ending would have been way more powerful if Lachlan did die.
Yeah.
As like unfair as it was, that was like the gut wrenching ending that I kind of wanted. Like when Tim said to Lachlan when they're in the where they're in their villa, he says to him, "It's your last day." And he kind of like pauses and he's like, "Go on and enjoy. Don't just sit in here and read a book." It was like, bro, it is your last day, because we all thought he was going to die. And the fact that he came back like kind of took away some of that, like, what an ending, you know?
Yeah, I felt like, I mean, I agree that that would have been probably better, but I felt like it was telegraphed so early on in like when that sequence started to happen that even before he started taking, like drinking it, I was just like, okay, he's going to drink it and his dad's going to save him. Because like the other two family members, they ended up leaving and then they specifically say like your dad's still in bed, and it just sets that scene up so like perfectly for that to be how it goes down, that I just like the whole time I'm like, well, the dad's gonna come save him, like dad's gonna wake up, and then sure enough it shows the dad. I'm like,
I felt like the whole sequence has been telegraphed from the beginning, because they showed the
Yeah.
poisonous fruit tree and then the blender like every episode, and then like
Yeah.
just the way he was deciding that Lachlan was the only one who wasn't gonna take it. It's like, okay, he's the only one that is gonna take it.
Yeah, so the
And-
fact
And then
that
he
he
just
didn't follow
leaves
through
it on
that
the
was
fucking
like,
counter.
Yeah, so that whole part, like, really, I just checked out. He leaves the blender out after like, making this big dramatic scene, oh, coconut milk is off, and then leaves the blender out. And so the dad doesn't clean it. So that's one setup where someone's going to accidentally drink it. And then the boy in the morning, he doesn't wash it either. So it's like,
he's like, oh, there's
two
crusts in
people-
here. It's
two
fine.
people
The
didn't clean
boy.
the blender.
Or even housekeeping.
Yeah. What the hell was that?
Yeah, it's pretty foul to just grab a crusty blender and like still use it.
Yeah, I think they telegraphed a lot of things throughout the season where it's like it was supposed to be a reveal, but it felt like we already knew it. Like the Russians being in on it. It's like as soon as Valentine
We knew
like
that.
stopped him at the gate, it's like, well, either that's a, misdirect because it's too goddamn obvious, or it actually is them. And then it was them.
I saw like comments online like, did you guys notice? I'm like, it almost like, how could you not have noticed? Like it wasn't even a question, but then people were arguing like, I bet you he's involved. I'm like, yeah, he is involved. It's going to be a twist if he ends up not being involved.
And then they had to do
yeah.
the flashback for us just so we got
Yep.
it.
I wanted to feel a little smarter about my guesses. Like they made some things, like we knew Chelsea was going to die.
I didn't really.
I mean, I felt like they were making that obvious because she was such a beloved character. And then especially the setup of the final episode when she was saying, we're together forever. Whatever happens to you happens to me. It was like, okay, that confirms it. Chelsea's for sure going to die.
I sort of figured she was going to die after like the snake episode, and she said bad things come in
Bad
threes.
things, yeah.
I just didn't think the season had enough balls to do anything like that.
I wish it had enough balls to leave Lachlan dead, though.
I do want to, on the Lachlan thing, I will say something positive. The visuals, like the cinematography of that whole sequence was great.
Yeah.
I
That
love
was
the
really
part,
cool.
like how it circled back to the returning to the water, and he's underwater and then looking up, and you see the monks as the camera's slowly rising up. Like, those visuals gave me chills, even though I was checked out.
Well, but in like the feeling of that scene when he was like trying to swim to the surface of the water was so like powerful and like, Lachlan, no. But then they just like undid it. He just woke up and he had a little tummy ache.
Yeah, I liked most of the cinematography was really good.
Did the mom have no, like, what do you call it? When you're reacting to being off drugs.
Yeah, withdrawals. I'm like,
Withdrawals,
what the hell?
yeah.
Yeah,
How
she
does
would have
she-
been like brain zapping all over the place and stressing out.
I mean, I tried to look up like the withdrawals from lorazepam, and they're not like as extreme as you might think.
I would have liked to see her like getting more frustrated because she was off of it, and then
Yeah.
like maybe her realizing the dad has him, like because he's like
How would they
cooped
not
out of his
notice?
mind.
Yeah, that's like one of my biggest problems with that whole storyline with the dad and her, is just like we got like a little bit of the dad pre lorazepam during like the first episode, but like he seemed like, you know, a straight laced business dude. Like we got a little bit of it, but then the rest of it he's like zombied out, and like I I assume the family would recognize that he's acting super zonked out.
Yeah.
But like there's like small little questions of like, are you feeling okay? But that's it. Like no one's really commenting about how zonked out he is. And it just like it just shows that like I don't even think Mike knew what his character was pre lorazepam. I think like his character was written as the zombie version of himself, and they didn't really know much about who he was prior to
I
that.
don't even feel like his character needed the lorazepam to be like
Stressing.
interesting in that story arc.
Yeah, and it like all of it, like how he was acting could have been directly correlated just with anxiety,
Yeah.
like just having panic attacks.
It didn't make sense. Like I never quite got why none of them wanted to go check their phone. Like not one snuck off to go check it that whole time. It was a
And,
bit
like-
convenient when the rest of the characters all had their phones.
And why would the dad, like before deciding to try to kill the family, why wouldn't he check his phone one more time? Like I really thought they were heading towards this, like Tim's been having this huge meltdown and panic attack the entire season, and then he turns his phone on at the end and something's
Everything
been
is-
resolved.
Yeah.
Like
I wish we could have got the reaction of the family.
I
Finding
know.
out.
That is like
That was a big like letdown of the ending for me.
since that story arc was the one I was most invested in, especially because of the brothers jerking off. I like that's what I was waiting for the whole time. Like I can't wait to
Just love
see
that part.
what happens with this family finding out that they're broke now
And they're jerking
he's-
each other off.
And yeah, we didn't get to see the sister find out about the jerk off. Like earlier on, the little brother was giving the sister weird vibes, and like all of her reactions to it were really funny. So then, like, I was expecting like Greg or somebody to expose them, like with a video or any sort of like the family finding out. But no, these brothers just gonna go home and go on their merry way, like they didn't jerk
No,
each
they
other
take it
off.
to their grave.
Yeah, that was a big bummer. I was also very disappointed in Guy Talk. The whole time he was like, I'm such a good guy. I'm going to do the right thing. And then at the end, he was like, well, I'm just going to do whatever Mook wants. She sucked.
I think she was supposed to suck.
Yeah, she sucked, but that was one of the storylines that I didn't care about at all. And then I kind of like that he finally just gave in to it and shot Rick.
Executed, shot him in the back.
Yeah, that was one of the things I thought was cool. What I really, the whole setup to that though, like Rick killing his dad, which is obviously his dad. And
Yeah, telegraph that.
yeah, and he stands over and he's like, he killed my father. He was your father. It was so cheeseball. But
I cannot
like-
believe they did that.
I
I
know.
can't believe it.
and I can't believe that Rick the dad had just like sent his guards to get Rick out of there, and like this is a dangerous man who attacked him, and then they get to take this photo, and the guards are like, all right, see you later.
Yeah.
It was
They all just split up. Why?
dude, they were video game NPCs. Like
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
at the breakfast. They're like, there he is, go get him. And he like hides in bushes, and then they're like, okay, back to guarding the guy now.
And
then-
Rick just goes back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Stupid.
He just goes and like chills at the dude's hotel as if, like, what?
Didn't tell Chelsea to leave. Nothing. They were just horrible con men.
I was pretty annoyed that Rick grabbed Chelsea and brought him with in the gunfire. Like, obviously, she's going to get shot.
Did he?
Yeah, they're shooting back and forth, and he grabbed her and was like, "Here."
Yeah.
Her little
Rick.
blood spot was pretty cheesy. It looked like they just spurt some like a little bit of ketchup on her.
Some candle
Coming
wax.
from the fake blood expert.
You've been shot.
I thought that scene was very sad, though. Like, Rick finally expressed love to her. She was so happy. The scene where Saxon was looking at them all longingly and jealous. Like, I think that made Chelsea's obvious ending, like, pretty sad.
I think the reason I kind of like this episode is because things actually happened.
Yeah.
And maybe
Yeah.
maybe I don't like it and it's just that stuff happened. So I was like, oh, good, excitement.
Chad, you're gonna sleep on it for a couple days, and it's gonna creep up on you, and you're gonna start realizing that it isn't.
We're gonna have to redo this whole conversation.
I know.
It
Well,
was
I
Dogsh.
rewatched the first season before this one, and I realized how funny it is. Like I laughed out loud on every episode, and this one it's like, okay, and it's not as funny. That's fine. The tone's different, but if you're gonna do that, at least I don't know, make the characters have more depth or create bigger stakes or actually do something throughout the season.
Here's my question: would you take the Belinda blood money?
Yeah, but that was stupid because she brings in her son because Greg Ross is like she thinks he's a murderer, which he probably is, and you're just gonna bring your son along who's gonna negotiate from 100,000 to 5 million, and you're not worried about getting killed or getting him killed.
And his negotiating skills were pretty cheeseball. Like he was very overconfident
He
dealing with
seemed
a possible
young and
murderer.
inexperienced.
Yeah, but I for sure would take that 5 milli.
Well, yeah, of course.
Morals are in the drain. You're gonna offer me $5 million to keep my mouth shut. I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Yeah, and if she didn't take it, I feel like there's more risk there to getting killed at that
Yeah.
point. So
But the
been dumb.
negotiating up that high seems like
It's pretty extreme.
also, I didn't realize how quick it was to send money to that much money to somebody.
Yeah, easy peasy. I was like nervous for her when her son was like, "Oh, I gave him all your bank information."
Her son found a dead body, and the next scene he's smiling on a boat.
Yeah, everybody was pretty okay with seeing,
mass shooting.
experiencing a mass shooting at their vacation spot.
yeah, and even her friend, what was her name, Chloe, didn't seem to care at the end. I don't know if Saxon found out. I don't know
Yeah.
if anybody found out.
They were kind of like leading to this like redemption arc of Saxon, and like a lot of that was brought on by Chelsea, and they like kind of started a bond in a way, and he was reading her books. So I thought for sure we were going to get some sort of him finding out about Chelsea being killed or reacting to it in some way. But no, the little brother almost dies. They don't have any sort of hospital update or anything. The family's just on the boat after a mass shooting like nothing happened.
Like maybe he finds out that she dies and he like just leaves that book behind.
I felt like they filmed the ending boat scenes before all the actors like knew the resolution of what happens in it, because it was just like all those ending scenes, like they should have been more responsive.
Traumatized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would think, like, was that the day after the shooting or the same day as the shooting that they left?
I don't know. What about Lachlan though?
It was that morning.
Dude
I
almost
think.
died. Did he
It
not
was-
tell the family?
It was that morning. That was the last day.
Like, I feel like those three women would have been questioned and a part of the like investigation around it. Like they were right there when it happened. So, like, I wish we'd have seen some sort of like aftermath, like directly after it, and just
Well, and then
how
the staff
everyone dealt
was
with
like,
that.
the staff was still just lined up.
Bye.
Oh,
And then
God,
they
there's so
day
much.
bow out into the sunset.
Yeah. What was that song at the end? They tried to go with like a Breaking Bad, like how Breaking Bad ends with I guess I got what I deserve.
And also, a lot of people online are talking about how it never circled back to that one of the friends knowing Victoria Ratliff and explaining why she like blew her off or didn't want to acknowledge that they had met before. And a lot of people were waiting for that to come back around.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
It had nothing to do with anything.
I wanted to see all the characters interact more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
like, oh, the full moon party, here we go. And it's like the most boring drug party sequence I've ever seen on film.
and then having Rick moseying around in Bangkok the whole time.
Yeah.
I did read that, and I haven't checked if this is true, but I read that Woody Harrelson was supposed to be Sam Rockwell's character,
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
and he had a family vacation planned, and like they changed the shooting schedule to that week, and he just, I can't do it, I'm going on family vacation. And so Sam Rockwell stepped in last minute because he's married to Leslie Bibb. Is that her name?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was very happy to see him
I love Sam Rockwell.
get a little redemption meditation at the end.
I know we're supposed to be talking about the ending episode, but how dumb was it that they went to that lady's house without having any sort of plan, not even checking IMDb once? Like,
Yeah, it was dumb.
And then Walton Goggins just sits there and lets him take it. He just sits there and like watches him as the little Asian woman getting drilled by these billionaires.
What? I have to get ready for work, so I don't know if you guys want to keep talking or just we pick it up after work.
Probably pick it up
Yeah.
after work.
I gotta figure out how to get this menu off my freaking camera.
And Allie, your camera also keeps going black.
Yeah, I know. I'll fix it.
All right.
To be continued.
Yeah. Boner.
Cool.
Boner.
Look, I got rid of the menu thing.
I really thought that was an artistic choice. Chad, you missed it. When you stopped recording, I let a big one out.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I ripped a tootie.
You ripped a fart? When?
As soon as you dropped
stopped
from the
recording.
call earlier,
Oh.
the leg lifted and everything. What is it, Justin?
He's stuck in a box.
Justin was telling me earlier that he thought that the Rick storyline was the strongest of the bunch, and of the characters, he was the most developed.
Justin told me he loved guy talk. He thought that was the most interesting part of the whole thing.
Yeah, Justin told me that Lachlan was right for jerking off his brother.
Yeah. And he also said that
He said morally right, and that he was obligated to if he wanted to
fit in with his family.
gain the upper hand.
Yeah. Literally.
Justin, any retort? He's shaking his head yes.
Oh, that's unfortunate. He still can't respond.
Fuck.
Oh, there you
I
are.
heard that.
All you had to do was cuss a
Weird.
little.
All right. And we're back. Harry was just telling me off mic that he thought Lachlan was right for having jerked off his brother. I thought that was weird, but he was pretty convicted, so I let him have that one. Harry?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Oh.
Still going on.
Why did you lift off your chair like that?
You don't want to stay in the chair.
God.
So, regarding the jerk off scene, I did think after that was where I turned around on Saxon. Like, at first, he was probably my least favorite character of the show. And
This is a hot take.
by post jerk off, I felt like he was humanized with every stroke. I actually did start to like Saxon by the end of it, and I was disappointed that he didn't have like that big of a send off in the finale. Like, he kind of wasn't super present in the finale, but I did turn around on Saxon as a character, and I did end up liking him more than a lot of the ones that I thought I would like more. Like, I thought I would like Walton Goggins' character more, ended up liking his character the least, and then I came around on Saxon so much that he was probably one of my favorite characters by the end.
Yeah, I think the show wanted you to like him after that point.
Yeah, so you're not a free thinker. You just did what the show wanted you to do.
I'm okay with that. I think the show was effective in that way, and sometimes it tried to make me feel things that I did not feel. Like when it tried to like show me reveals that
Yeah.
the friends were the robbers, when like that seemed obvious to me from the first time we met them.
I think I felt something when Carrie Coon had her little speech. I thought that was done really well. But I still feel like it wasn't... I wanted more out of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they got to that point, but I did love the point that they got to. I loved their stories the whole time. I'm happy that they ended up the way that they did, but I feel like we missed something maybe. But I did love I'm glad you have a pretty face. I'm glad you have a beautiful life, and I'm just happy to be at the table. Like,
And they were just like, okay, fuck you, Lori.
Yeah, wasn't that like that seemed like pretty
they
insulting.
just let her say that.
Yeah, thanks, nerd.
I don't feel like it was meant to be insulting. I think it was a very Lori way of like coming to terms with what their friendship is to all of them. I liked it.
I feel like the other women too, like, were starting to come to like a similar like conclusion of wanting to be friends by the end of it, and they were kind of starting to feel the weight of their kind of bickering and everything. And when the Jacqueline, is that her name? She was like in the morning, like she just seemed sad, and she was asking about Lori and like trying to get her to come join them. Like, that seemed the most genuine of her interactions with Lori. And I think like Lori she put it all out there, but I don't think that was like the only like thing that happened with like all those three characters. I think they all started to feel the same thing, but Lori was like the character they used to like express it.
They also got sprayed with water guns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In the
Tyler
moment,
feel bad for
I
them.
was thinking she should like get kidnapped or something, you know, like she shouldn't have been able to just escape clean out of the sketchy situation. But
Am I crazy, or did they show her grabbing one of the stolen pieces of jewelry when she left that apartment?
It showed she didn't end up grabbing it. I thought that maybe she would have, but then I don't remember like that far back in the season to say whether this was true. But like, did Lori have any sort of like? Would she have known that that was the stolen jewelry? Because she saw it, and it seemed like it was like a reveal to her as much as it was the audience that that character had the stolen jewelry. But like, would Lori have known at that point?
maybe it was just supposed to be like an understood. The guests at the hotel knew what was stolen or something.
Yeah, I just kind of knew that like it was so far along that we definitely knew that they were the robbers. That I was just like, yeah.
We did not
That-
talk about how you guys felt about the snake bite, because that was, I know, a big point of contention among the siblings.
I thought it was stupid.
Yeah,
That's a thrilling
it
opinion.
just like
I don't remember it. It was a long time ago.
it was a couple weeks ago. So
That's
you
why we
just
took
you
notes.
blindly and mindlessly consume, like you sit in front of the TV like Clockwork Orange and just like goes in your eyes and out your ears. You don't remember any of it?
Well, my pants are off, and I'm probably jerking it, so you know.
Ew.
That was episode 6.
Was it?
No way.
No, when
No.
Chad started jerking off.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Come on.
I mean,
You
keep
guys
up,
didn't
guys.
get
Who
the-
didn't?
Yeah, that's disgusting.
So I think the snake bite scene was probably the first hint I should have taken with Walton Goggins' character. But like it also set the tone of like there's a level of like suspension of disbelief in this show that like I wasn't expected to have. Like, because if you look into it, like she would have absolutely been in the hospital for at least 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like I wish they would have done something else that would have been like, it's a small thing, but I wish they would have just had like a line that said like, well, you didn't even get bit by a cobra. It was non-venomous.
Or-
like
I
that
don't-
still would have been fine.
Or like they do like devenom snakes at some of those shows. I'm kind of feeling like maybe they did and then they just took it out. Like whatever, doesn't matter.
I was not as bothered by the snake scene as the rest of you guys. I kind of thought, maybe it wasn't intentional, but I kind of thought it was funny because Amy Lou Wood's character, that's her name, right? Amy Lou Wood. Yeah. Her character, Chelsea, just, it seemed so on brand for her to like have these near-death experiences and then just be fine. And I think that like also played nicely into her unfortunate ending.
I think that's when me and Justin were trying to warn you that this show's not gonna be good.
But if you look back to like the character of Tanya McQuad, she was cheesy as heck. Like she was
She was
very.
my least favorite character.
She was a.
Who the hell is that?
Tanya?
Tanya. You look like
hot
a
dog
Fourth
lady.
of July.
You should have just said the hot dog lady. I don't know these actors'
Yeah, she
names.
always stood out to me as the cheese ball of this series.
Yeah, but it's kind of like to be expected. There's a little bit of cheese ball in it.
She was funny in the first season.
We're getting off track.
I liked her.
We're talking about the finale.
I thought, yeah, well, Walton Goggins, they didn't really use him well.
I totally
I
disagree.
will say Walton Goggins, by the end of it, I kind of forgot that it was Walton Goggins.
What do you mean?
You know when like an actor plays a part like so well that you like stop seeing him as that actor? Like
Like in The Penguin.
yeah, that or like Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. Like 5 minutes into that movie, it was no longer Adam Sandler to me. It was this character. I feel like
Uncut Gems.
Walton Goggins kind of was Rick.
Yeah, but they didn't give him a lot to do.
I know, I agree
feel
with
like
that.
He was bad at what he did. I don't know if the show knows that he's bad at what he does or not.
I really liked the Rick and Chelsea storyline. I liked the character development. I liked the blank stare on the face. It's very memeable. Big fan.
I like when he took that dude's gun and he was just like, "Fuck you." Boom, boom. It's like, oh my god.
Did you see how much faster Lori ran than the rest of them? Like there's just clip after clip of how much faster she took off. She was like, I'm not dying for none of y'all.
Didn't really affect her that much because she was on the boat later, just like,
Yeah. They just went straight to the boat and left, and we're all fine.
Yeah,
Didn't
that
have
was a
to
problem I had.
Be investigated by police at all. Didn't have to
or Lachlan
do anything.
drinking the The protein shake that almost killed him. He didn't have to go to the doctors.
Yeah, they didn't take him to the hospital, and he was fine to leave, just like that. And then they all had some of that shake too. Some of the pina coladas.
There
And, like,
should
they
have
were
been
just
some
fine.
like stomach pumping going on.
Yeah, I had to look into that, similar to how I looked into the snake bite. So apparently, one seed or like whatever, like one dose of what that fruit can produce, there's like a 90-something% chance of living through it, and two is like 70-something%. So like it's not like cyanide. Like you still, like him puking it up and like coming out of it is probably somewhat accurate, since he did have like it was still mixed in with all the rest of the stuff that he put in him. So I don't fully hate that,
But
but I would think that the dad maybe probably should have taken him to the hospital.
yeah, like he knows that he gave him the seed of a fruit called the suicide tree. He didn't
Yeah,
take him to the
they're like,
hospital.
"Oh, back-
He found him.
back
And
on
he's
the
at
boat."
this-
He
He's at this resort, and he's like yelling for help, and no one comes to help.
Well, because they were busy
well, maybe
with
they
the
did,
shooting after that.
and we didn't see it.
No, because then when he woke up, he was
he
still by
woke up.
himself, just
Yeah.
with him.
Well, how long was he out?
I don't know, long enough to die and see four figures in a pool.
Long enough to die. Chad facts.
How do you wake up dead, man?
So back to Walton Goggins' character. So by the end of it, I
What you got there, Justin?
A non-alcoholic beer.
had a LaCroix.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't mind that he was the one that was like in the shootout and everything. I just wish they would have given us a little more with his backstory. Like, they're doing a lot of like say, don't show, or tell, don't show. Where they were like, he kept saying like, you ruined my life, but like what was his life? Like, we got no indication what his life was, because he's obviously successful to some degree. Like, he met Chelsea, they have a relationship. Like, what, just him saying you ruined my life isn't enough for me to like fully understand he hates this guy so much that he kills him. Like, he thinks he killed his dad, but like what was like that backstory? Like, who is Rick besides his dad was murdered? Like, I wasn't able to pick up on much of any of that. And then having those two be the ones who died at the end, like they were separated for half the series. It was all like saying that they're soulmates from Chelsea's perspective, and Rick having basically nothing to do with Chelsea for half the show. And by the end of it, they're like some Greek tragedy. I just didn't feel it.
And
Yeah.
like we really didn't learn anything about Chelsea as a person. Like we knew her from that, but like I feel like by the end of it, we didn't really know her or like much of the Ratliffs. Like I don't know, just all there's a lot of loose
Yeah,
ends.
it was a lot of character development for not a lot of backstory.
We got more backstory on Sam Rockwell in like a 3-minute scene than any of the main characters.
When he like first showed up to give that speech, I was like, they should have given this speech to like Rick or someone like we knew already. So we'd be like, oh, that's weird. That's crazy. It would add some like depth to a character that we were already following.
Not to just... I feel like I'm just accepting everything they gave us, but I really liked Frank like coming in and being this weird character and like changing up the pace. I was invested when he was starting to drink. I was like, no, this is gonna be so bad. I was happy when he was meditating at the end, but I feel like it could have been taken a little further, because I did get worried when he started drinking and then nothing came of it except for like weird partying.
It's funny when he said that ship sailed. I thought you were sober.
I don't know. I feel like the whole season was like a lot of great setup and ideas, but it didn't really, I don't know, bring them all together in a
Yeah.
satisfying way for me. And I'm totally fine with like vague or come up with your own conclusion type storytelling, but I feel like this rode the fence too much and didn't go one way or the other with that.
Are you hoping to see more resolution from like any of these characters in another season? It didn't feel to me like it was being set up to have any of these characters like cross over, but I do feel like we did get all the resolution we wanted.
I guess it'd be fun if they brought some characters from other seasons together in some way.
There's like already a lot of people online talking about a Ratliff family spinoff from when they get back, but it's like Schitt's Creek with the Ratliffs.
Like, it's supposed to be funny.
It's just a meme.
I mean, I would watch it.
My
Probably.
dad already paid the caterer.
I would watch it just because they were the most interesting in the story to me.
Whatever, Emily.
I liked a lot of the cinematography. I liked a lot of the visual metaphors it was doing. I liked the vibe of it. It had a pretty cool vibe, and it was fun to follow the characters. And it was really good at setting up ideas that could have been really interesting. Most of them didn't pay off for me.
They sort of pulled a Game of Thrones with some of it too. Like anytime there was some part of dialogue you really wanted to hear, they would cut away. And it's like there's a part when Saxon is talking to his dad and he's like asking him like, you know, is there something wrong? Like, do I need to be worried? And like that could have been a really like good dialogue scene to hear him tell like Saxon, like arguably the person that he's setting up for success, that he failed him. Like could have been a really cool part, but nope, he just popped a lorazepam.
I also just wanted to be more devastated at the end. Like I wanted to turn the TV off and not be able to stop thinking about it in like a good way.
Yeah, and then the whole Rick's whole storyline built towards meeting this guy. And all he does is just kick the chair over and leave.
And goes back to breakfast.
Yeah, goes back to the guy's hotel. I mean, if that
There is no resolution.
if that doesn't get the stamp of total dog shit.
Oh, and the Fabian character, or whatever his name is, like, he kind of dropped off. Like, what was the point of him? Nothing?
He's supposed to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, his story ended.
What did he know about Gary that Belinda didn't know? Because he was like, oh no, you don't talk bad about the guests. So he like knew something.
I feel like his storyline concluded when he had his performance, which they didn't show us, the audience, but that was kind of the whole point. It was like building up his character and like putting all this emphasis on whether or not he was going to perform well at the show. And then right when he starts playing, it cuts away and you can just hear him in the background. You don't actually get to see the performance. So that was kind of like where they stopped with his character. But then they're like, oh, we still have him in the show, so I guess he'll still be in the background.
What was a moment in the show or in the last episode that made you do your signature?
In the last episode?
Yeah.
Or in the whole show?
Either. Because you haven't made that sound during this conversation, and I was really hoping for that.
I guess the snake bite really pissed me off. I don't know. I wish we would have been doing this like as each episode came out, so like the bullshit was fresh. You know, because I know there are some like stinky piles of shit that I was complaining about.
Yeah. I think we texted them to you guys.
It was especially the snake bite. You were really annoyed about the moon. You guys were really annoyed about the full moon
Yeah,
party.
the moon pissed me off.
Well, they made the full moon party look like a really boring party.
There was brothers.
Chad was bored with the jerking off.
There were brothers literally jerking off, having a threesome, and
Blow 'em
Chad
already.
says that's boring.
Chad's like, it's just a little bit of incest. Like, it wasn't even
Yeah.
cool.
He
But that was the
emphasized, he's like,
episode
this whole
after.
full moon party, it was like, that was the least exciting drug-fueled trip I've ever
That didn't
seen.
happen on that episode. I mean, technically it happened during that, but not on that episode.
Well, Chad is also like a world
Like,
traveler,
jerk him off earlier.
you know, mega partier. So he's seen some crazy shit.
Yeah, Chad's been to nights of Rogan that are way wilder than that.
Chad's been to one of Diddy's parties.
Chad's taking mental notes of where he's
Where
going
to
to add
edit
the
out.
cut.
Nice
Yeah.
try, Diddy.
Back to the characters kind of falling off with no point. The Fabian guy, I feel like that would have worked if we as the audience would have got him hear him sing. Like, I know they were being meta and they weren't letting us see him sing, but it would have been better if like we just saw them ignoring him sing and show that he's good.
Yeah, like they showed us too much of everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And not enough of what we wanted to see.
That was the point.
Yeah, the dad.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's art.
I was most excited about the dad's character in the whole show. He's just like, Yeah. Oh well, you know.
Okay, who was your favorite character in the beginning and then your favorite character by the end?
Chelsea was my favorite at the beginning, and then probably Saxon.
Saxon was my favorite in the beginning, and Lachlan was my favorite by the end.
You're so stupid.
I mean, I like Saxon the whole time.
Did you?
Chad knew
Not
what
as
he
a
had.
person, not as a person, but as a character.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
loved
I like
Chelsea
Saxon.
in the beginning, and I think Victoria was my favorite by the end. And I really loved when Piper came to terms with the fact that she was spoiled and needed all of those things.
Yeah, I like that part.
I didn't see that coming, and I liked
I
it.
was hoping she was not going to just say that she didn't want to go there because Lachlan wanted to. I like that they went with the direction of like, wow, this would suck.
I kind of
Yeah.
figured they would go there.
I did not, but I loved it. And I liked the scene where she's like shopping in the store and Victoria's like, if you want it, get it.
And I like the mom's face during that scene when
She hugs her and gives Tim the thumbs up.
just like her face is like so satisfied and just like
She was
glaring.
so proud.
Oh, you know what really bothers me?
As proud as when I told Mom I'd have a glass of wine with her for the first time.
The theme song. The fact that there's a version of it with the Lululus, and they didn't use it.
The Lululus.
Whenever you say Lululu, it makes me think of Butters
Lulu.
from Lululu.
Yeah, did you see that Mike White? I don't know if it was today, like within the last few days, or whatever. He went on Howard Stern and said that whole thing was a bitch move by the composer
Yeah. There's tea.
Do what?
to quit.
Oh.
There's major tea between the composer and Mike White.
And it seems like people are kind of like split on it because a lot of people say
Well-
like at the end of the day, it's Mike White's project.
But he also hired that guy to do a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one.
I don't know.
I don't know all the details behind it.
If someone hired me and I didn't like working with them, I'd probably quit.
And Mike claims that there's not really any arguments going back and forth, just him emailing notes, like corrections on things. It's kind of a he said thing right now.
But who decided not to use
The
like,
Lululus.
the theme Lululus?
Mike.
Yeah, that's a dumb decision.
Yeah, that was. I mean, the theme song grew on me. I liked it by the end.
Yeah, it grew on me too, but still, we were expecting Lululus.
But there's
It
also
grew on me, but like the beat never drops, and then that like motif in there is like what sets the stage for the show. Like it sets the tone at the beginning, you know, get you amped up for it.
if you read some comments, and these are just like rumors, but people are saying that the composer guy like had a falling out with Mike White and that there wasn't a version with Lulu's and that he scrambled to put that piece together in the end because it sounds so rushed.
Where'd they get that info?
It's just based on how it
Right.
sounds. Like people are saying it sounds really forced and rushed right at the end, like, oh, let's throw some Lulu's in here real quick. But this is all rumors. This is not fact.
Well, was it total dog shit?
It's tough. Yeah, I think it's total dog shit.
No, not my vote is not total dog shit.
My vote is no.
We need criteria. I'm like, there's got to be levels of dog shit. Like, is it dog shit? Is it stinky dog shit? Is it total dog shit?
Well, I think it's not. Okay, it's not total dog shit, but it's like a little nugget came out and like you stepped on it, so it's like now it's in your apartment.
Oh, that's pretty bad. Is your apartment have carpet or
Just imagine that it's like White Lotus. Like, you let White Lotus into your.
Oh, who brought White Lotus in here?
It's like the Stepford Wives.
yeah?
I have rugs. I don't have carpet. But yeah, you gotta scrape it off on your little fireplace mantle and then run it under the bathtub.
Or like
Dad.
it's like Dad stepped in it.
Dad uses the bidet to clean his dog shit off his shoes. So he
does.
holds it and it
does.
sprays,
Aims it at the fucking.
it sprays everywhere.
It's
There's like
It's insane.
you'll go in there.
mom will walk into the bathroom and she'll be like, Tom,
You go in there.
did you clean your shoes on the bidet again?
You go in there and there's dog shit on like the shower curtain.
Sprayed all over.
You're serious?
Yes,
He does
Yes.
this.
yes.
He uses the bidet to spray dog shit off of his shoes.
I see where he's coming from. Like,
like,
it cleans
shit.
shit off of other surfaces.
I'm cleaning off shit. You use the bidet.
All shit gets cleaned by the bidet.
But the bidet shoots like out of the toilet.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It probably sprays onto him like while he's doing it as well.
Yeah, I don't know if White Lotus is that bad.
No, it's not.
It's in the apartment, but it's not sprayed all over
Just-
the bathroom.
Just
with the
think
bidet.
about like something that is total dog shit, like Game of Thrones season 8. That is a stinky pile of shit, and like I don't think I'll ever watch White Lotus again, but I at least enjoyed watching it.
I enjoyed watching it,
I enjoyed watching it.
even though it let me down almost every episode.
Yeah,
Yeah, Chad was like let down every episode, and then he finally texts us, that episode is pretty good, right after Lachlan jerked off Saxon.
yeah.
Yeah. I was like, well,
Yeah.
consequences were actually happening to the characters.
I want to see
Yeah.
more of the fallout from that. Like
I do
I
too.
feel like that was too big of a thing to just get swept up into a cum rag.
That episode that like when it revealed that happened, I thought was really good. It was probably my favorite episode of the
Yeah.
season. And like Saxon, like Schwarzenegger, his acting was really good in that, and like the hangover, like the realization, like it just that all felt really just well done, and like I was really like could feel like the heaviness of it. And that like the next episode is where I started to actually turn on the show because I really liked it up until then.
yeah,
And that next
'cause
episode, it was almost like it didn't happen. Like they didn't address it again until the finale.
I know. I
he's like,
texted Harry.
Hey parents, do you want to go to a party at this dude's house and like go meet the girls that were there when I was being jerked by my brother?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
why would he be so excited to go to a party?
Not only
I
that,
think he'd be
the girlfriend's
avoiding them.
boyfriend that I was cheating with, who
owns the
who
house.
saw the jerk session happen, was part of it, knows that she was cheating on him, and he invites you specifically to the party, and then you go
So
invite
you
your
bring
parents.
Yeah, we changed like the conflict that he was dealing with. He then got put into another situation where he was in conflict where it's like, do I hook up with Chloe while he watch? Like he got presented with like some new thing when like we already established this really heavy thing that was like worth exploring, and they're just like, now what happens if Saxon gets put into a three-way situation with these ones? It's just like,
Yeah, that was a weird. I feel like that was a weird part of Greg Gary's storyline as well. Like it just didn't feel. I feel like they could have done something else with that.
Yeah, the whole
But
like
I did text Harry after episode 7. I was like, we're cooked because we had been team like this all has purpose. It's developing,
Yeah.
and then episode 7 happened, and we were like,
Yeah, you guys finally came around to see what we were telling you the whole time.
I still liked it a lot more than you did.
Probably.
same. I really think 6 episodes they could have trimmed a lot of the stuff that like I felt was the problem, which is just like a lot of like kind of dragging out storylines, like the dad with the pills, like that. Just kind of like, all right, in this episode we're gonna see him like think about shooting the mom, or this episode
I
we're gonna
hated
think
those
about him
scenes. It's
shooting
like- Oh, yeah.
Saxon. Like it just
I hate the fake out death scenes. So you can,
Yeah, and
you
the-
can tell when they're happening, and it's like we're just wasting
and
time.
then
Did any
they did
of
it for
you
2
think-
episodes in a row.
and they did a fake out scene after the gun was taken, like so we knew it was a fake out.
Did any of you think that he was actually going to let them drink the pina coladas?
No, I mean
I was surprised when any
before
of
the
them did.
episode, yeah. But the way it was set up, the way it was being shot, I was like, he's probably gonna stop them all. I kind of figured that what was gonna happen happened. That the only one that would have it would be Loki.
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 When I think about rewatchability, season 1 I could rewatch and really enjoy. This one is like there's got to be at least an entire hour of just B-roll slow-mo footage.
Hmm.
And like monkeys hopping around.
I for sure thought monkeys were going to be involved in the shootout.
If the monkeys grabbed a gun and started shooting people, I would have shrieked.
Been a little Jumanji.
No, that would have saved it for me.
Yeah, actually, it probably would have.
Just a bunch of monkeys with AK-47s running around shooting people.
I'm glad the shooting wasn't just the security guard and the Russians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my guess at the beginning. I thought it was gonna be a guy talk like being like amped up to like step up or like be more brave and like embrace like a little more violent side, and he was gonna overcorrect and like kind of lose control, and there would be like extra casualties from that. So I was wrong on that one.
Like a hall monitor episode. Like when Jimmy Neutron gets the hall,
exactly.
becomes the hall monitor and he abuses the power. It's like every cartoon. I think every show in history has had an episode like that.
I did enjoy watching the finale. I did feel some sense of tension.
Yeah.
And some of the things were a little unexpected.
Yeah, Lachlan's whole death scene was very unexpected, but it would have held so much more weight if it would have gone
Yep.
through. Like, I would still be
Yeah, he should've
thinking of,
died.
like, I would still be thinking about it right now. Like, oh my God. Like, not
Yeah.
only did poor freaky little Lachlan drink the shake and die, but it's like one of the most like visually like haunting like point of view death scenes that I would have seen.
Yeah. The visual was super haunting. It was like it was hard to like sit with thinking about how guilty Tim was going to
Yeah.
feel for Lachlan drinking that, and he like smashed up poison and didn't clean it out of the damn blender. Like I thought it was I thought that's what the episode needed, and that's like that was the feel I wanted to feel like devastated by the final episode, and I wasn't because I already thought Chelsea was going to die.
I kind of assumed that wouldn't be the case just because like White Lotus loves to have their like final scenes at the airport type scene with like a relatively like upbeat tone to it, and like I just couldn't see them getting that moment if a child died and the family lived. Like that would just be too hard to like balance the tone of like having a character that was kind of a shithead shoot an old man that was kind of a shithead. Like it, I think the only one that everyone was like really beat up about was Chelsea, but like
Which wasn't
you
enough.
still were able to like split the tone there at the end and have people unrealistically be unfazed by the shooting
I will say Harry
on their way out.
Harry called that like weeks ago. I was talking to him about White Lotus at the diner, and he said, I just don't think any of the Ratliffs will die because it would be too dark of an ending. Like it has to have like the moment in the airport, and like he called it way before the ending. So good job, Harry.
We don't have proof because it wasn't in the texts. Nope.
Yeah, this moment in the airport was weird, though.
Yeah, it felt a little forced because the character was so like close to the killing. Like the three women, I wouldn't say I don't remember them being like super happy, but they were like, I feel like they still would have been like questioned more, or like their trip would have been delayed. Like they just like wanted
All
to
of them
jump
that
to
were
that.
There, like they all would have been stressed. They all would have been like
Traumatized.
Traumatized. They were all happy. Even like the workers, they're all standing there on the beach smiling and waving. It's like,
They
we're
just
Yeah, what the?
let them
you don't have
go.
shit to do
I
right
didn't
now.
even think about that. They did show like all the main like staff just like sending them on.
Porn Chai's out
I
there,
mentioned that
Pam's out
earlier.
there.
Oh,
I think was Fabian out there.
Yes.
Yeah,
They're all just...
Valentin.
wow.
Thanks
They're
for
all
visiting
standing
the
there
White
waiting.
I think we
Lotus.
need to
I hope you had a good time.
reassess our rating of this. You guys said it's not
They wanted
total
the,
dog shit. It might be, in fact, total dog shit.
it's not total dog shit. They just like see, I like where a lot of the like stories ended up. I just like there's some filler that didn't need to be there, and then there's like where they could have spent that time giving us a little more information about who these characters actually are, not their just current state. I would have loved it. So I can't give it a total dog shit stamp.
No, for me it's like you walk inside and you're like, somebody smell poop? Is there poop
No,
on
I
something?
mean I smelled poop. I smelled poop from the beginning, and I was telling you guys, I was like,
Me and Chad both smelled it.
put out
I
the
only smelled
signals,
poop
you
on
know?
this on the 7th episode. The rest of it I enjoyed.
It's because you were led
Yeah.
astray.
It got
Blinded.
tracked in for sure, but it's like
You can't really
you
figure out
sit
where it is.
down and like it doesn't start to waft up
No,
Yeah.
I knew it
until
right when I
the
walked in
final
the room.
couple episodes.
Right when I walked in the room, I'm like, there's shit in here. First episode. There's some shit here. I hope they clean it up before we really get going.
And they
I
continued.
better start lighting some incense.
They
and
continued to
searching
shit
for it.
though.
We're gonna have to create like
Huh.
a real. God.
Could you hear it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't
I
hear
hate the-
myself, so
I hate the way that you set it up and also the way that you react to it. Like it just
give.
there's no
Give it
finesse.
a
It's just
try,
all
Al.
weird. No. Absolutely not.
So White Lotus, we all agree, was total dog shit.
Total dog shit.
No.
No.
Just mute their mics.
Don't do it.
The problem is it's hard not to get wrapped up in piling on to it when talking with you guys. Like, because there's a lot
it's like-
to criticize, but I still really had fun with it.
So you're okay with us saying total dog shit?
No.
It was definitely
Total
dog
dog
shit. It was
shit.
dog shit. I think it was total
It's
dog
total
shit.
dog shit.
I
We
hated
told
White
them from the
Lotus.
beginning, and they wouldn't
It was
even like
dog
listen
shit.
to us.
I don't like that you have control of our mics.
Well,
We'll have to come up with a scale for this.
Foozer just let out some cat shit. Maybe it's cat shit.
Ooh, it could be cat shit.
What if we do one that we like? Like, really, really like?
Yeah, you are assuming that I like anything.
Yeah, Justin hates everything.
That's why it's total dog shit. Wait, are we going to be allowed to call it total dog shit? Will we have to like...
I was trying to build a fart, but I think it would have been a poop.
Well, we all agree that White Lotus season 3 was dog shit. So like and subscribe for the next episode.
click that notification bell so you know everything that is total
We'll
dog
probably
shit.
be discussing The Last of Us, right? Isn't that coming soon? Oh, that's going to be a heaping pile of shit.
That's gonna be a steaming pile of dog shit.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
I'm holding out hope because Moira's in it.
If season 1 was any indication, season 2. Get out the bidet. You're gonna be spraying your shoes for weeks. See you
All right.
guys.
Try to edit this and get it out tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll see you on Halo.
Bye.
Bye. Boner.
Ah!